name is Sue McCleaf Nespeca, and I am from Kidlit Plus Consulting. And this is my cousin.
Hi, I'm Joan Reeve.
And we want to thank the Commonwealth Libraries of Pennsylvania for funding this videotape today. We're going to be talking about picture book storytelling techniques. You know, Joan, I'm wearing my elephant vest.
I see.
So I think we need to start with a story that has an elephant in it. How about if we do dancing feet?
Okay.
All right, now in this book, I'm going to have Joan do the part of the children. She's going to hold up this sign, and these are the words the kids would say. And what are they, Joan?
Happy feet.
Right, so every time she would hold up the sign, the kids would say the words, and she'll play the part of the kids today. And I also like to pause and ask them if they can guess what animal is coming up next. Because the book is in rhyme, this is really great for phonological awareness. So we're going to start with this book called Dancing Feet, and this is a participation story where the children get to participate along with us. Tippity, tippity, little black feet. Who is dancing that tippity beat? Ladybugs are dancing on tippity feet. Tippity, tippity.
Happy feet.
Stompity, stompity, big gray feet. Who do you think that might be, kids?
Is it an elephant?
That's right, I bet it is. Who is dancing that stompity beat? Elephant is dancing on stompity feet. Stompity, stompity.
Happy feet.
Slappity, slappity, webbed orange feet. Who is dancing that slappity beat?
Duck?
Ducks are dancing on slappity feet. Slappity, slappity.
Happy feet.
Creepity, creepity. Lots of purple feet. Who is dancing that creepity beat?
Caterpillar?
Caterpillars dancing on creepity feet. Creepity, creepity.
Happy feet.
Thumpity, thumpity, furry brown feet. Who is dancing that thumpity beat?
Bear?
Bear is dancing on thumpity feet. Thumpity, thumpity.
Happy feet.
Now this one's tough. Clickety, clickety, long green feet. Who is dancing that clickety beat?
Lizard?
It's a lizard. Lizard is dancing on clickety feet. Clickety, clickety.
Happy feet.
Stampity, stampity. Here are feet. Who is dancing that stampity beat? We are dancing on stampity feet. Stampity, stampity.
Happy feet.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Joan. Okay, I have another participation story I'd like to share. This is one of my favorites. It's called Old Black Fly. And the way I'm going to sing it is actually detailed in a book that Joan and I wrote together that was published by the American Library Association called Picture Books Plus. And we have in there details how you can sing the song I'm going to sing to this particular story. We need our fly puppet, and he is right here. Okay, and I'm going to just do part of this story. Now, in this story, I have the children join me in the refrain, and it's a singing refrain. It goes like this: shoo, fly, shoo, fly, shoo. So sometimes to prompt them, I will have my little fly on my hand to prompt them that Joan is showing you right now. Okay, here we go. Old black fly's been buzzing around, buzzing around, buzzing around. Old black fly's been buzzing around. He's had a very busy, bad day. He ate on the crust of the apple pie, apple pie, apple pie. He bothered the baby and made her cry. Shoo, fly, shoo, fly, shoo. He achoo! Coughed on the cookies with the chocolate bits, chocolate bits, chocolate bits. He drove the dog nearly out of his wits. Shoo, fly, shoo, fly, shoo. Okay, well, this book actually goes through all the letters of the alphabet, and we're going to come back here to a page that the kids find really funny. It's the U page. He slept on the stack of clean underwear, underwear, underwear. He played on the vase by the velvet chair. Shoo, fly, shoo, fly, shoo. He dozed on the window in the summer heat, summer heat, summer heat. He made a little X with his front feet. Shoo, fly, shoo, fly, shoo. He buzzed about the yarn in Mama's lap, Mama's lap, Mama's lap. He landed on her table, flap, flip, flap, zzz, 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 zzz. Swat! Oh, black flies done buzzing around, buzzing around, buzzing around. Oh, black flies done buzzing around, and he won't be bad no more. And that's a story of old black fly sung to the song Joshua Fit the Battle of Jericho. Okay, I have another participation story. And this one is actually by the same author who did Dancing Feet, Lindsay Craig, both illustrated by Mark Brown. And this is called Farmyard Beat. And if you want, you can have someone keeping the beat with some rhythm sticks, kind of low in the background. This is another one I sometimes pause and let the children supply the name of the animal. So let's see if we can do a little bit of this story. The beat, how about this, Joan? Okay. Chicks can't sleep. Chicks can't sleep. Chicks can't sleep 'cause they got that beat. Peep, peep, peepy, peep, peep. All that peeping wakes up
Sheep.
You're right, sheep. Sheep can't sleep. Sheep can't sleep. Sheep can't sleep 'cause they got that beat. Tat, tat, tatty, tat, 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 tatty, tat, tat. All that racket wakes up.
Cat.
You're right, cat. Okay, you get the idea of the story. So it's a nice one, you know, that you can rap or keep a beat to, called Farmyard Beat. Okay, another participation story. Now this is kind of what you would call a little bit of a twisted tale. It's a twisted tale of the three little pigs, and it's called The Three Little Fish and the Big Bad Shark. And for this, we have some fish. This is just some foam, sparkly foam with wiggly eyes, and we got the shark. And you know what? I think we're going to trade places so that the shark can get at the fish here. Okay, and so we're going to tell just a little bit of this one too. This is a really good one for the kids to participate. You could divide the kids in half and have some of them, you know, do the shark part, and then have some of them do the fish part. So we'll just do a little bit of this. Okay, once upon a time, there lived a mama fish and her three little fishes, Jim, Tim, and Kim. It is now time, said the mama, for each of you to make a home in the deep blue sea. So off they went. And the first little fish actually found some seaweed, and he built his house out of seaweed. Well, he hadn't gone very far, and he just finished building this house when he heard a big, bad shark knocking at the door. And the shark said, little fish, let me come in. And the little fish said,
Not by the skin on my finny fin fin.
well, then I'll munch, and I'll crunch, and I'll smash your house in, said the shark. And he munched, and he crunched, and he ate up every bit of the seaweed house. And Jim swam away just in time to meet his brother, Tim. And this is my favorite line in the story. Tim said, don't worry, Jim, we fish stick together. So anyhow, the shark then tries to get into his house with Jim and Tim. Little fish, let me come in. To which the brave little fish replied,
Not by the skin of my finny fin fin.
well, then I'll munch, and I'll crunch, and I'll smash your house in, roared the shark. So he goes through, by the way, there's no fish harmed in this story. And the shark, well, he actually ends up losing all his teeth at the end of this because he munched and crunched so much that all his teeth fell out. But it's okay because now he is a vegetarian shark and he can just eat all the little greens and he'll still be fine. So that is the shark tale. Okay, let's move on to another category. Those were participation stories. I'd like to talk a little bit now about props, or puppetry. And the first one I want to talk about is 5 Green and Speckled Frogs. I'm sure a lot of you know this song. 5 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 4 green speckled frogs. And this is just an apron you can buy from different catalogs. I think I actually got this from Lakeshore. You can search them on the internet. And they have these little pieces where you can they're Velcro, and they just sit here. Here's our little bugs, here's our frogs, here's our pool down here, and you can act it out on the storytelling apron, which has some nice little deep pockets. Now you can actually make an apron like this for yourself and just buy a carpenter's apron if you want, and add some pieces of felt and little Velcro things. So you could make your own if you didn't want to purchase one. So that's a storytelling apron that's a lot of fun to use. The next story is one that has sold over 4 million copies worldwide. It's called The Grubbyalo. It's a very popular book, and Joan and I like to tell this one a lot. We actually sometimes do it as readers' theater and have kids come up and act out the different parts. And we're going to move out front here so we can do this one for you. We won't do this the whole way through, but we will tell you a little bit about it. And we have all the little characters here. Very nice pictures in this book, too. It's very good to look at. And I'm going to get my little fox here, and we will start with the Grubbyalo.
A mouse took a stroll through the deep, dark woods.
A fox saw the mouse, and that mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have lunch in my underground house.
It's terribly kind of you, Fox, but no, I'm going to have lunch with the Grubbyalo.
A Grubbyalo? What's a Grubbyalo?
A Grubbyalo? Why, didn't you know? He has terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws.
Well, where are you meeting him?
Here, by these rocks, and his favorite food is roasted fox.
Roasted fox? Oh my!
Fox said.
Goodbye, little mouse!
And away he sped. Silly old fox, doesn't he know there's no such thing as a Grubbyalo?
Well, the little mouse also encounters an owl. Same thing happens, he scares the owl away. He also encounters this wonderful snake, and the snake is also scared away.
Silly old snake, doesn't he know there's no such thing as a Grubbyalo? But who is this creature with terrible claws and terrible teeth and his terrible jaws? He has knobbly knees and turned out toes and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. His eyes are orange. His tongue is black. He has purple prickles all over his back. Oh, help! Oh, no, it's a Grubbyalo!
Oh, my favorite food!
The Grubbyalo said.
You know, little mouse, you'll taste good on a slice of bread.
Good,
said the mouse.
Don't call me good. I'm the scariest creature in this deep, dark wood. Just walk behind me and soon you'll see everybody is afraid of me.
Oh, sure,
said the Grubbyalo, bursting with laughter.
You lead the way, and I'll follow after. Well, guess what? To the Grubbyalo's surprise, because the other animals had already heard about the Grubbyalo, he does indeed scare the snake away and scare the owl away. And then the mouse said,
Grubbyalo, now you see everyone is afraid of me. But now my tummy is starting to rumble and my favorite food is Gruffalo crumble,
Gruffalo crumble!
the Gruffalo said. And quick as the wind, he turned and fled.
And all was quiet in the deep, dark wood. The mouse found a nut, and the nut was good. And that's the story of the Gruffalo. One of our favorites, right, Joan? We love telling that one. Again, you can have kids help act that out. You can do it, have older kids do it as a reader's theater for younger kids. It works really well. Well, we have a couple other books we want to show you that have puppets to go with them. And we want to talk a little bit now about folk tales, like the Three Billy Goats Gruff, and the Three Little Pigs, and the Three Bears. You know, one of the things they find out is a lot of kids arrive at school and have not even heard of the different folk tales. And so I think it's very important that we introduce these folk tales to kids. And they're also, after you share the book, it's wonderful for the kids to retell the story, help retelling it, because it helps them with narrative skills. So I would like to start out with the Three Billy Goats Gruff, and we'll show them these puppets, Joan. This is actually the large billy goat. These are just simple paper bag puppets. This is the little billy goat Gruff. It's just a little paper bag. The middle-sized Billy is on a middle-sized bag. And here's the great big Billy. Now, this is a great big grocery bag. He has some legs here. This is a grosgrain ribbon, so I can wear him around my head. Joan is wearing the troll, and the troll is kind of interesting because there we go. The troll, he has some fake fur on him. You can actually add arms and just have rubber bands so you can wear it on the arms. You could also have legs coming down from him and have the rubber bands going around your ankles. And so you can easily act this out after you shared the story with the kids once. I often like to play a Greg and Steve tape to go along with them. And it goes trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. And the troll says, "Who's that tripping across my bridge?" So it's a wonderful song to use with it, Greg and Steve. Now, how about the Three Little Pigs? I don't have my wolf puppet with me here today, but Joan, you actually made these houses. These are poster board. Would you want to tell them how you made each house, please?
This is yellow poster board, which has straw attached to it, and then it's laminated, so that's real straw. I went out to a pine tree and found some very small twigs for the house of twigs and attached those to the brown poster board and laminated that.
And look at the house of bricks.
The house of bricks is simply a sponge dipped into some brick-colored paint and then put on in a brick arrangement so that it looks like a house of bricks.
Right. So what the kids can do here when they're acting out is simply hold it up. You know, they can look out the little holes here and act it out. I usually play the part of the wolf, and I have a wolf puppet that I wear in my hand when I do that. Let's talk about just one more folk tale, and that's the Three Bears. You know, the Three Bears is one of the easiest stories. I have even had 2-year-old children act out the Three Bears. You know, they do the part of the Goldilocks, actually, where they, you know, look in the window and they open the door and they try this porridge and sit in this chair and sleep in this bed. And these, again, are just some poster board puppets, you know, that they can hold up and their faces can show through. We have the father bear, the mother bear, and the baby bear, who is wearing a Cleveland Indians hat. Sorry, or yeah, Cleveland Browns, I guess that would be hat. Shows a little bit of my Ohio roots there. Okay, so don't forget to share the folk tales with the kids. Okay, next we're going to move on to song picture books. And the first one I'm going to do is a favorite of kids. It's called I Ain't Gonna Paint No More. And this is another one. I'll let Joan play the part of the kids here a little bit. What I do sometimes is pause and see if the kids can supply the rhyming word. Again, this is really good for phonological awareness for kids, and that's one of those skills they need to have to learn to read. So this story goes a little bit like this. One day, my mama caught me painting pictures on the floor and the ceiling and the walls and the curtains and the door, and I heard my mama holler like I never did before, and she said, "Ya ain't a gonna paint no more." I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. That's what I say. But there ain't no way that I ain't gonna paint no more. So I take some red and I paint my
head.
Right, and before I turn the page, I will see if they can supply the clue, but then I show them the answer, head. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. What the heck, gonna paint my
neck.
Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Okay, we're gonna skip ahead a little bit in this story. We go through a lot of different little body parts there that the kids get to guess what they are. I love the picture of the arm, and then the hand, and we got to show them the leg, Joan. Oh, the leg, it looks like an Easter egg leg. That's really good. And then, of course, the feet. We got a whole paint mess here. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. But I'm such a nut, gonna paint my... What? Says Mom. Y'all don't faint 'cause there ain't no more paint, so I ain't gonna paint no more. The end. Okay. That's a fun one to share. That's a song picture book. I want to talk a little bit about a person who I think does some really wonderful song picture books. I'm going to just show you one of hers. Her name is Jane Cabrera, and one of the things I like about hers so much are that the pictures are really clear. If you have a group of children, it's very easy for them to see the pictures in the book. This particular one is the wheels of the bus, but you would have... there's a lot of different books that she has done that are done the same way with these bright colors, and they're great song picture books. Okay, I want to share a song that is a real favorite of my own and a lot of kids. It's the Pete the Cat series. There's a lot of Petes. We have the very large Pete the Cat. By the way, you can purchase these from a company called Merry Makers. You can search it online. They have a smaller Pete. They have a Pete, well, I guess that's a key, like a lanyard, keychain. And then they have a new one a newer one that goes along with one of the stories that we're actually going to share today. It's Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. And this is a newer one. This is actually a little puppet, so that's nice too. Again, Merry Makers makes those, and you can buy them online. Okay, so we're going to start out with the Pete song. Now, all these songs you can actually download. There's an URL. You can download them and play them. So let's see if we can get Pete going here.
Pete the Cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes. Pete loved his white shoes so much, he sang this song.
I love my white shoes. 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 Oh, no.
Pete stepped in a large pile of strawberries.
Strawberries. What color did it turn Pete's shoes? Red. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. I love my red shoes. 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 Oh, no.
Pete
Stepped into a large pile of blueberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Blue. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. I love my blue shoes. 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 I love my... Oh, no. Pete stepped in a large puddle of mud. What color did it turn his shoes? Brown. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. I love my brown shoes. 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 Oh no! Pete stepped into a bucket of water.
And all the brown.
All the brown.
And all the blue.
And all the red.
Were washed away.
All washed away.
What color were
now
his
what color
shoes
his
again?
shoes? White.
But now they were
But they're
wet.
wet.
Did Pete
Did
cry?
Pete cry? Goodness, no.
He kept walking along and
singing his song. I love my wet shoes. 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 The moral of Pete's story is, no matter what you step in, keep walking along and singing your song, because it's all good. And that's the end of the Pete song. Okay, that's the first Pete book that came out. Then we have another, we had several other Pete books that came out in between, but then one of my favorites was Pete the Cat and his 4 Groovy Buttons. Now, I like this one a lot. This actually even won a Geisel Honor Award for beginning reader books, and I was on the Geisel committee that selected it. So here we got Pete. Joan made Pete too. He has some nice removable buttons. Now, we might just do part of this book. We'll see how it goes. But this is Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons.
Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt.
His favorite shirt.
With 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much, he sang this
It's
song.
more like a rap than a song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off
and
rolled away. How many buttons are left? 3. 4 minus 1 equals 3. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no, because buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 2.
3 minus 1 equals 2.
Okay, I'm going to stop that
Pete
there.
cry?
Pete keeps losing his buttons until he gets to no buttons on, right? Joan's going to take the rest of those off. He has no buttons off. The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0. 1 minus 1 equals 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? His belly button! He still did have a button. So then he sang his song. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We keep on singing. And that's Pete. Now, there's also a book, Pete the Cat, The Wheels of the Bus. So it's the Wheels of the Bus song with Pete. So Pete's a very, very popular character. I want to talk about some more picture books, song picture books. And these next 2 that I want to talk about were done by the Emberleys. That's Rebecca, Adrian, and Ed Emberley. There's one, if you're a monster and you know it, stamp your paws. and there was an old monster. I'm going to play just a little bit of that one. And just so you get to see how, again, this is something you can easily download and sing along with it.
There was an old monster who swallowed a tick. I don't know why he swallowed the tick, 'cause it made him feel sick.
Next, that old monster, he swallowed some ants. He took a big chance when he swallowed those ants. Man, those ants had him dancing in his pants. Scritchy scratch. Scritchy scratch. He swallowed the ants to catch that tick, but it didn't do the trick because he still felt sick. So they're very,
Then that old monster, he swallowed.
it's really almost like a rap song, which is a lot of fun. Okay, and one last one which I like an awful lot. This was performed by Neil Sedaka. He actually did some books recently that he wrote for his grandchildren, and he took some of his old familiar songs and added some new words to them. And this one is called, it's my favorite one of his, it's called Waking Up is Hard to Do. You slept all night, now it's morning time. That's the time to rise and shine. Don't you cry and don't be blue, 'cause waking up is hard to do. Just brush your teeth and then get dressed. When you comb your hair, you'll look the best. Now you know it's really true, 'cause waking up is hard to do. They say that waking up is hard to do. Wear a smile, don't you be blue. Just wipe the sleep from your eyes. Instead of going back to bed, you gotta stretch and face the day. Just listen to the birdies sing, and the flowers that await the spring. Rise and shine your dreamings through, 'cause waking up is hard to do. They say that waking up is hard to do. Wear a smile, don't you be blue. Just wipe the sleep from your eyes. Instead of going back to bed, you gotta stretch and face the day. Just listen to the birdies sing, and the flowers that await the spring. Rise and shine your dreamings through, 'cause waking up is hard to do. Down doobie doo down, down, come down doobie doo down, down. Anyhow, you get the idea. I love that. Waking up is hard to do. So those are some wonderful song picture books to share with children. I want to talk about a couple other little methods. A lot of people use flannel board stories, and they're not my favorite thing to use because flannel board, a lot of times the felt and flannel, the pieces will kind of fall off. So my preferred method is a magnetic board story. Now for a magnetic board story, you just need any kind of metal thing. This is a metal cookie sheet though. Not all cookie sheets are metal, so make sure you get a metal one. You make your pieces. You can get them from pattern books if you're not very good at drawing, like I am not that good at that, though Joan is. But you can get them from little pattern books, color them, laminate them if you want. And then you just put a little piece of magnetic stripping on the back. And this is actually pieces for a story called Jump Frog Jump, which is a great story to use with kids because it has a repetitious refrain which they can join in. And so you can tell that. And one of the things I like to show is those pieces will never fall off, unlike a felt or flannel board. So think about doing maybe some magnetic board stories. Another one is that I like to use a lot is a tell and draw story. And this one, when I first saw the book, I thought, I think this would work well for a tell and draw story. And it's called The Pig's Picnic. Let me just get the book opened up here, and I'll tell you. This is by Kiko Kaza. It was the perfect day for a picnic. Mr. Pig tried to look his best. He was going to ask Miss Pig to go on a picnic with him. Gee, I hope she says yes, thought Mr. Pig, but he was very worried, so he decided that he would take a flower along with him. Okay. You take a flower along with him. Thank you. Well, Maybe this will impress her. But on the way to Miss Pig's house, he met his friend, the fox. And when the fox heard about the picnic, he said, "Let me give you some advice, Mr. Pig. You should borrow my beautiful tail." And so he did. "There, see how foxy you look," said the fox, and Mr. Pig was pleased. And then he met his friend, the lion. And when the lion heard about the picnic, he said, "Let me give you some advice, Mr. Pig. You need to borrow my beautiful hair." "There. See how courageous you look," said the lion. "Miss Pig will like that." And Mr. Pig was pleased. And then he met his friend, the zebra. And when the zebra heard about the picnic, he said, "Let me give you some advice, Mr. Pig. You need to borrow my beautiful stripes." "There. See how handsome you look? You know, Miss Pig will like that." Mr. Pig was pleased. He had never felt so handsome in his whole life. He finally arrived at Miss Pig's house and knocked on the door. And when he said, "Will you go on a picnic with me?" But when Miss Pig saw this creature, she was shocked and said, "Oh, no! Oh, this monster! If you don't go away, I'll call Mr. Pig. He'll take care of you." And Mr. Pig ran back the way he came. He returned the tail to the fox, the hair to the lion, the stripes to the zebra, and then he hurried back to Miss Pig's house, and once more he knocked on the door. "Will you go on a picnic with me?" he asked again. "Oh, Mr. Pig," she cried, "I'm so glad to see you. Just now there was an ugly monster right here in this yard. I'd love to go on a picnic with you, Mr. Pig." And all the way to the picnic, Miss Pig talked about the monster who had visited her house. And her handsome friend, Mr. Pig, listened sympathetically. It was a perfect day for a picnic, and my favorite page, the two little pigs, their little pig butts showing there, enjoying their little picnic in the sun. So that is a tell and draw story. How about a clothesline story? Have you ever thought of doing a clothesline story before? There's a lot of books you can do use a clothesline story for, but what they're really good for are songs or stories where the children have to remember the characters, and a lot of times they have to sing them backwards, if that makes any sense. For instance, if you think of the song Old MacDonald had a farm with a quack quack here and a moo moo there, and that's a lot of things to remember. So if they see the pieces on the clothesline story, they can see and can easily add the parts. So Old MacDonald is obviously one of them, but let's talk about some other songs that you could use a clothesline story for. And this next one, and you need to have it, you can have people hold it or have it tied really tight. But what you would do, now in this one, I put the tree up first, and I put my little cat up, because this song is called Cat Goes Fiddle-I-Fee. And let me get my pieces here. And you could actually have the kids add the pieces if you want. They could add it to the, you could have them bring them up, and then you could add it on. But again, they can see the different pieces, and it'll help them be able to sing the song backwards. I had a cat, and the cat pleased me. I fed my cat by yonder tree. Cat goes fiddle-I-fee. Now, I would normally put this in order, but for you today, so you can see it, I'm going to put it on the other side of the tree here. I had a dog, and the dog pleased me. I fed my dog by yonder tree. Dog goes woof, woof, woof. Cat goes fiddle-I-fee. I had a duck, and the duck pleased me. I fed my duck by yonder tree. Duck goes quack, quack, quack. Dog goes woof, woof, woof. Cat goes fiddle-I-fee. And then I would just keep adding all the characters on one by one. Again, Old MacDonald. Another story that I would want to show you that you could do on the clothesline story is A very similar one to Cat Goes Fiddle-I-Fee. It's called I Had a Rooster. This was illustrated by Laura Vacara Seeger. I think it might be out of print now, unfortunately, but you can still use the song. And the song goes, I had a rooster, and the rooster pleased me, and I fed my rooster on the greenberry tree, and that little rooster went cockle-doodle-doo, dee-doodle-lee, doodle-lee-doodle-lee-doo. I had a cat, and the cat pleased me, and I fed my cat on the greenberry tree, and that little cat went meow, meow, and that little rooster went cockle-doodle-doo, dee-doodle-lee-doodle-lee-doodle-lee-doo. So again, they can see the pieces on the Clothesline Story. It will really help them remember what's next and to help make the sounds of the animals. So that is a Clothesline Story. Okay. Well, I would like to finish up this little segment on picture book storytelling techniques. Again, thanks to the Commonwealth Libraries of PA. I'm going to end with a little rap. It's one of my favorites to do, and kids love it an awful lot. It's called the Three Bears Rap. And I have the children join in this also. I'll tell you where they can join in as I do it. And it goes like this. And they can actually keep a beat again. They can, if they're old enough, they can snap fingers. This is good for a family story time, whatever. Once upon a time, in the middle of the woods, there lived 3 bears. I said 3 bears. One was a papa bear, one was a mama bear, one was a baby bear. Along came a girl with golden curls. She knocked on the door, but no one was there. So she walked right in, had herself a ball because she didn't care. Then home, home, home came the papa bear. Home, home, home came the mama bear. Home, home, home came the baby bear. Someone's been eating my soup, said the papa bear. And the kids should echo that part, said the papa bear. Someone's been eating my soup, said the mama bear, said the mama bear. Bee-bop-a-ree bear, said the little wee bear. Someone has eaten my soup, yeah. Someone's been sitting in my chair, said the papa bear, said the papa bear. Someone's been sitting in my chair, said the mama bear, said the mama bear. Bee-bop-a-ree bear, said the little wee bear. Someone has broken my chair, yeah. Someone's been sleeping in my bed, said the papa bear, said the papa bear. Someone's been sleeping in my bed, said the mama bear, said the mama bear. Bee-bop-a-ree bear, said the little wee bear. Someone's asleep in my bed, yeah. Just then Goldilocks woke up. She broke up the party and she beat it out of there. Bye, 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 said the papa bear. Bye, 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 said the mama bear. Bee-bop-a-ree bear, said the little wee bear. So ends the story of the 3 bears. Yeah. And that's a 3 bears rap. Well, thank you for joining us today. I hope you'll find got some good ideas for sharing picture books in some different ways, and keep sharing those picture books with kids. Thanks again.